Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today is a demonstration on how to do split half double crochet. So today is a quick tutorial on a simple stitch that I've never heard of before, and my friends over at Yarnspirations actually told me how to do this stitch, and it's actually pretty simple, and it's being used in a couple projects for the Canada 150th celebration, for the Canada A pillow, as well as the Buffalo plaid blanket. So what we have here is that this is regular half double crochet and this is split half double crochet right here. So you'll notice that the split half double crochet is a lot more compact versus the half double crochet. I have to just as a disclaimer here, I've used a really big size hook, N size a 10mm crochet hook, and because of that this yarn is more meant for an 8. So there's more gaps here in the half double crochet than typical. But with the split half double crochet you have to go up in crochet hook size in order to get it to work, because the stitches are actually kind of overlapping each other as you're going to do it. You'll notice that it looks split on both sides, so it is a both two-sided project when you're going to do this. It depends what you're working on, of course. So what we have here is that I'm going to show you exactly how to do the split, and let's begin. So for the split half double crochet you're going to notice that the stitches are compacted onto each other. So you'll notice down here you see it kind of rests in, it almost like it's nesting in. So in this particular idea you see that the half double crochet is stacked on top of each other, but in the split one what happens is that the stitch is just resting halfway down into the row below it. So it's actually looking like it's burying part of the actual row. So when you're going to look at this in the pattern, it says go between the legs of the stitch of the half double crochet. So the legs are right here. See these two here? That's the leg of this stitch. So normally we go and concentrate on the top, but in here what we're going to do is that we're going to drive our hook right between the legs itself. So don't go into the stitch right below it, go between the legs of that stitch when you go to do it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to do the very first one here. So this is using Bernat Maker Home Deck yarn, by the way, with the N 10mm size crochet hook. You're gonna want to use a normal or a larger size hook. So you want to chain one first. So normally with half double crochet we'd chain two, but in this case it's only one, and then you're just gonna go right to the one right below it and drive your hook right through the split. So wrap the hook first, it's a half double crochet split, and then just go right in between the split the two. And once you get used to this, the first one of the row is always the hardest from what I've been able to determine so far. So you drive it right through the project, yarn over, pull through, okay, and then you have 3 left on your hook as normal for half double crochet, and you pull through all 3. So that was the split. Okay, so let's begin to do the next one. Can you show me where it is? Okay, point at the screen. It's right here. So see how these two are coming down into this one? You want to drive it right through the split. So wrap the hook first, go into this the legs of that crochet and split them apart, pull through, and then pull through all 3. So because this is the first row starting out, you're gonna notice that it's gonna start compacting things back to the way it was down below here. So let's go to the next one. So do you see where it is? See there? So wrap the hook, drive it between the split, go right between on the other side of the project, pull through, and pull through all 3. So wrap, okay, go into the split, pull through all 3, and you keep doing that. So I'm gonna speed up to regular time. So it takes a bit of getting used to, I'm not gonna lie to you about that, but once you get it, it actually is pretty easy. Actually I really like this stitch. I wish I would have known about this years ago. So this is something that I learned this morning here on the Crochet Crowd. Always something to learn with crochet. So what you want to do is you want to pay attention to when you go to turn your rows as you go all the way down the row as you make your way. So then you have one last one left. It looks like that there's 2, but there's only 1, and wrap and going in. So why does it look like 2? I'll show you that in a second. So pull through all there. So when you go to turn to start the next row, always with the split you are going to only chain 1. That's what makes it look like there's 2. It's just that chain 1, and then you come right into the same stitch right below, split the legs apart. The first one, as I told you, is always the toughest. It's just because of the way that it's just the row, I guess. So I don't want to lie to you about that kind of item, but don't let that be your deal breaker. It's just the first one. So now you got their first one in, so where's the next split? See how it's coming down? Just split those apart. So this is called the split half double crochet, and what this is doing is it's burying a portion of the stitch that was before it right underneath the stitches, so it bulks everything right up when you do it. So just go into the split when you go to do that. So this is split half double crochet. We're gonna be using this on some future projects coming up, and if you can understand this, it makes a lot of sense. And what I want you to do is that we're gonna do the buffalo plaid tutorial coming up real soon, and you want to pay attention to that starting chain for doing any kind of split half double crochet. The starting chain is always probably the most confusing, but once you get that then you can just blaze along of doing split half double crochet. So that's it. Remember, we're coming to the end of the row. It looks like that there's 2 there. Again, just kind of pull it apart and go into the split. There's actually only 1 there, and split it, and then turn your work, chain 1, come to the same one right underneath, split it apart, and half double crochet. Have a great day. We'll see you again real soon.